Ho ho ho, Merry Christmas everybody. This is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you in the month of December, since it is Christmas time and the holiday time, about Odd Squad Reindeer games. I might also review Miss I don't know yet. Because it also has a Christmas theme. So, Odd Squad, it's a PBS show, a very educational show where a bunch of kids, they teach other kids how to do like mathematics, aka math. And it's a very funny, very educational, very adventurous show. Like, you never get bored by having them teach you math because it's a zany, detective-y, spy kind of show. You know, like it's a bunch of kids who are kind of like spies, or no, they're like secret agents, and they help solve cases caused by adults. Now, yes, this is very much a kids show. And yes, I am an adult. And yes, I do watch this show. Why? Because it's hilarious. The CGI is amazing. And it's funny seeing these little kids who are like, because I remember, this is how I found the show. I was flipping around the TV in one afternoon many years ago, about 3 years ago, because this is in the third season. So about 3 to 4 years ago, I was flipping around and I'm just like bored out of my mind. And I was just like, I landed on PBS and I'm just like, why in the world are a bunch of little kids dressed like detective agents for? That don't make no sense. So then I watched it. I'm like, holy crap, this is awesome. This is like hilarious. And they fight these super villains that are adults. And it's just insane and everything. And this is what I was talking about when I did the Just Add Magic review. I said that there are at least 2 shows that I know of that adults admit to watching even when they don't have kids. And this is one of those shows. Like, you go in the comment section on like Facebook, and there's so many adults are like, oh, I watched this with my kids. But then they're like, no, I don't have kids. And then some of them was all like, yeah, I watched this too and I don't have kids. It's just one of those shows that just could be like, it's meant for kids, but it could be meant for anybody, you know? And so it's just like hilarious and stuff. Now, they are in their 3rd season that just got wrapped up. I don't know if they're gonna get a 4th, only because of how like things ended in the 3rd. They probably will, because it's a very popular show. I did not watch the 3rd season. Only because too much change in the format, so I stopped after the 2nd. Too much change in the 3rd season's format, and they got rid of all the main characters, because they switch up characters every season. But Miss O stays until the end of the 3rd, and she leaves because the actress is found. Because see, once the kids start to become teenagers, they have to leave the show. And so it's not fun no more for me, because like the season 1 and season 2 casts are now all gone, and those are the people who helped make it so memorable back in the day, you know. And I just didn't want to have to like end up liking like a new cast and then seeing them leave after that season. And plus so much change to where they went to like a mobile unit instead of just like 2 partners and stuff. So it just wasn't the same for me. Now, my favorite season is the 1st season, which this episode I'm about to review. I also really enjoyed the 2nd season, but like I said, that 1st season, it made so many like fans and stuff. And then when it got into the 2nd season, they changed up the new cast. They also changed up certain other things. Now, I will one day talk about this in the rundown review, but for now, let's get to Reindeer games. So unlike most episodes, every episode of Odd Squad deals with the 2 main agents. They're at somebody like an adult's house, and they're fixing whatever odd problem they have. Then once they leave into the tube system, then the thing that they fixed ends up getting messed up again in a different type of way. This time it changed that format, and it just shows the 2 agents at headquarters talking. Oh, you can find this on DVD. It might be on the PBS Kids app as well, I think. And it's also on Amazon Prime, but I don't know if you have to pay for it on Amazon Prime, like individual episodes or not. Now, back when I first got Amazon Prime about 6 years ago, no, not 6 years ago, because this ain't even 6 years ago. Whenever I got Amazon Prime a couple of years back, they had this, and you had to pay for individual episodes. So I don't know if they changed that or not. So anyway, so they're talking about Christmas stuff, and I'm trying to think of the name. It's Olive, Agent Olive. She's the main female, and it's Oscar. He's her partner. And these two are like in sync. Like they complement each other after every mission. They're really good pals and stuff. And so like Olive, she is the more serious type, where Oscar is just the zany, wacky one and stuff. And sometimes it makes you wonder how he even became an agent. So he's talking about Santa, and she's all like, "You mean the man right there?" And so he's in headquarters with Mrs. O, and he's going like ecstatic, crazy about seeing Santa. I love Santa's outfit in this. I've never seen a Santa outfit with gold trims and stuff. That's very fancy. And so, like, he's talking about, his elves can make anything, but there was a request from one child that was a little too odd, and he couldn't make that. So, not Oscar, geez, what's the scientist dude name is? Oscar, that's it, Oscar. Yeah, everybody's name was with the O at Odd Squad, except for, I think, Tom it was. Um, and so, like, yeah, everybody who works the Odd Squad, their first name starts with an O. And so, like, Oscar, he comes in and he has a spaghetti bicycle. Don't ask me. It's Odd Squad. Just roll with the punches. So they ask him how he's gonna get it in like his bag, and he's all like, "Oh, he has a shrinkinator." See, Odd Squad agents, they use devices to stop their bad guys, and the last name of the device is always a nader. So Oscar and his team of scientists, they make all this stuff. So it's the shrinkinator and stuff. And so he shrinks it down, he puts it in their bag, and then for some reason, I forget why, Olive and Oscar, no, I can get their names messed up. Okay, Olive and what's his name? Her partner. My bad. Olive's partner is Otto, not Oscar. Oscar is the scientist. I'm just like, why am I calling him the same thing as the other dude? Otto. I told him, man, it's been a long time. It's been like 3 years since he's been on there. And now they're like both adults and stuff like that. And so, if it's season 3, how can this be 3 years? Because she was also on and with the E for 3. No, this has been longer than 3 years. Yeah, this has been 7 years ago, because it came out in 2014. That's right. Wow, so the first season came out in 2014, because I remember it lasted for a really long time, and then the second season was shorter. Now I remember, because now Olive and everybody from season 1, everybody from season 1 for the most part is an adult now, except for Mrs. O. She's still a teenager because she was like the youngest of the group, and there was a couple other that were younger too. So Otto, Oscar, and Olive, they're all adults now. And so, yeah, this has been 7 years. Oh my God, 7 years ago. And it still holds up. That's awesome. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Otto is Olive's partner. And for some reason, they go with Santa back at his workshop. I don't know why. I forget why. But anyways, Mrs. O, who's like the youngest of the group, she's like an 8-year-old girl, but however, she's over 100 or 200 years old, and they never explain how that is, because she's been back since the cowboy days in the 1800s. So anyway, but she still acts and thinks like a little child, and in the movie, she says she still lives with her mom, so that don't make no sense. Like I said, it's odd. You know what I'm saying? So she's talking to Santa, and she's all like talking about her gifts, and he's like, "Oh, you're not getting any gifts this year, because you've been on the naughty list." And so she shouts at him and screams, talking about, "How have I been naughty?" Now this is the thing about Miss O you have to know. Miss O, she loves to scream, she loves to shout, and she loves to growl at people. Now, she started shouting a little bit less in season 2, because I guess like parents were kind of getting annoyed by that, and they said that's all she does. So she even mentions that too, that all she does is scream and shout. So she tries to stop, but she still does it. Now, in season 3, I didn't watch it, but when I did watch 1 episode or 2, she doesn't scream and shout at people no more, because now she's the big O. Or was, because she left now. because she came out like an older teenager and stuff, and her voice got a little bit deeper. But anyway, yeah, in season 1, ooh, all she did was scream and shout at people. And it was hilarious. And so he tells her, all that screaming and shouting, and you're not very nice person and stuff. So he shows her a graph. And the lesson of the day is like lesser and bigger signs. So he shows her like, this number right here shows how much you've been good. And this number over here shows how much you've been naughty. They're almost even, but she has more naughty stuff. So he leaves. And then so she's sat in the press and she's talking to Oscar, the scientist dude. And he's all like, well, maybe if you like try to like be good and do some good stuff, maybe we can change this graph and everything. And so since they're so close, sorry, I had to clear my throat. And so it's that time of the weather, man. Like it gets cold, it gets warm, and then your throat just gets messed up. And so he helps her do like good stuff and everything. And so with the whole lesser and greater thing, there's a segment where he explains that, where basically it's like, he likes to think of it as an alligator mouth and stuff like that. So when it comes to greater, lesser than signs, basically it's like this. You have two numbers. One is a large number and one is a smaller number that comes below it. The greater than sign is like, okay, you take the smaller number, and he explains like, it's like an alligator mouth. So it's like a mouth that's in the shape of like a cone or like a triangle thing. And the bigger part of the mouth is trying to get at the larger number and stuff. I remember as a kid, man, I used to have the hardest time remembering that for some bizarre reason. Cause it just seemed weird to me and stuff. So that's Santa's workshop and they meet the elf. And so Santa, he's about to give back the Shrinkinator gadget to the agents, but he drops it. And he's like, whoo, it's a good thing this thing didn't go off, or it might have like shrunk everything. But then it goes off in different patterns and stuff. And what does it shrink? Every single last reindeer, including Rudolph. And so when that happens, they all fly off all around the world. So it's a catastrophe and everything. And so they're all like, how are we going to get them back? And they're all like, so they start getting like a graph system to track down like where all the reindeer are flying, because they fly in pairs of 2. So they what is it? So after like, watching like the news and all this stuff and the patterns, so they realize something, that some of them are going in a certain pattern and they can pinpoint where they are. So they get like a map and a graph with I forgot what it's called. It's been a good while. Coordinates line. What the things called? Latitude and longitude lines. And so like they look at the graph and they pinpoint each location the pair of reindeer went. And then they start to see a pattern. And so they can pinpoint and determine and approximate where that those 2 reindeer are going to meet up next. And since they're all around the world, they call agents that's all around the world. And so the first pair of reindeer to be found are in France. And so like we see Olive speaking in French and everything. I think the actress is fluent in it. And so like she's talking to the agent and the agent catches it. So then they send them to like the tube system to go back to Santa's workshop and stuff. And then the next pair is in Vietnam. And so like they have to keep rounding all of them up till they get to him, except for Rudolph. He's the most sporadic one of all. But they are able to find him and stuff. And so when they go, Santa, like he gives Olive like a baseball mitt, glove. I can't talk right now. He gives her a baseball glove to catch the Rudolph, and she catches him. And then when she catches him and gives him to Santa, she tells Otto like, you know how I'm like always serious and everything. He's like, well, yeah, and stuff. So and she's all like, this was awesome, and she starts like dancing and all this other stuff. So back with Miss O. Oscar is trying to make her do like a lot of nice stuff, but she doesn't want to because she's very selfish and everything. So he calls Olaf. And the thing about Olaf is Olaf acts really dumb. Like he only says his name. He's all like, "I am Olaf," and he just says that over and over. And if he doesn't say that, he says potato. That's like the only two things he says and stuff. But he's still an agent and stuff. And they don't show his partner in this episode for some reason. So I think his partner might be Jewish in real life. So that's probably why they didn't want to do it since this is like a Christmas episode. So anyway, he comes in there, he's all like, juice. He wants one because Miss O has tons of juice boxes. That's her thing. She's addicted to drinking juice boxes. And she's all like, you want me to share my juice with him? He's all like, well, yeah, and everything. So she's reluctant, but she does it anyway. And so he's happy, and then her nice signs go up. So it's all like, hey, this is working and everything. So all you have to do is keep doing more nice stuff. So she sees Octavia, and Octavia is not very bright, and she has an invisible partner. And so like he's all like, and she tells him straight up like, she's one of my best agents. And he's all like, well, have you ever told her that? And she's all like, you mean to her face? He's like, well, yeah, you gotta tell her she's doing a good job. So she goes over there. It takes her a good long time to say that. Because she does not want to tell nobody they're doing a good job. And so she does that. And Octavia is so happy she gives her a hug. And Mrs. O does not like being hugged. And so she does a couple more nice stuff. And then all of a sudden, she has only one more nice thing to do, but she can't think of anything. Well, there's a bit of a problem now. See, so another nice deed that she has to do is like when she's in the squishinating room, the agent in there has like something he made. I think it's like a cake or a cookie that's all like a little mountain of mush. And when it comes to the squishinating room, the only people who work there are ginger kids. And so he gives it to her. It is disgusting. And he's all like, I use worms in it. She gets mad and leaves. And Oscar takes it, licks his fingers, like, oh, you added earthworm. He's like, how'd you know? And then he tells him some incident that happened a couple of years back. He was there for it. While they were chasing reindeer all around the world, the night is gone. It's getting into morning, and kids aren't going to have their Christmas gift. So he said there's no way to, like, zip around the world on reindeer and deliver all the gifts. But then Olive has a great idea. Why not use the tube system? The tube system connects to all around the world and in every building and every house in the world. So Santa transforms them with his magic fingers, and they turn into little Santa helpers and stuff. So they get the gifts, and they're all in the tube system, and they're just going from house to house, delivering gifts as fast as they can. Now the tube system's great. When you're in like the Odd Squad headquarters, you squishinate, and so you get on the machine, and you hit the little button, and then you turn into a giant ball, and then you just go around the tube system like in a little ball. It's like so awesome. They got rid of this in the second season. I was so mad. They got rid of a lot of stuff, like the math room. I like the math room. And they got rid of a couple of their recurring characters and stuff in the second season. But it was still good. So they saved Christmas and everything. And the house that Olive went to deliver the gifts, we see now who has the spaghetti bike. It was like a little girl. And so like Miss O, she helped out with the whole squishinating thing, because like in order to go through the tube system, you first have to go to headquarters so you can squishinate, and that sends you all around the world. So she decided she was gonna do it, but she did it not to be nice. She just did it, because she wanted to help the little kids and stuff. What she didn't realize is that that was her good deed, her last good deed that made her go over the naughty list and stuff. So Santa gave her her gift, what she always wanted. It's a eggnog juice in a little juice box. She drinks it. She hates it. But then she drinks it again. And she hates it even more. She drinks it again, but she can't stop drinking it. But she hates it. And then it ends. I love this show. This show is just so awesome. Now, Miss O, that's an episode that's really hilarious and funny. But it has a Christmas theme, not a big one. Basically what happens is Oscar created a time traveling device that sends a person through time. He drops it and it sends Miss O, a different Miss O from the past into the future. Or the present day, I should say, in their time. So that now there's two Mrs. O's in the same timeline. He tells the agents that they can't see each other because it could cause a time catastrophe. And he tells them everything that happens with this time catastrophe. It starts with an earthquake. Then it starts with people randomly showing up from the past and a business salesman. And it's also like time sheep or sheep that are dressed in hip hop rap clothes and have a giant like clock on their like on a necklace chain. It looked like Flavor Flav. And it terrifies Oscar. So he's all like, we have to find out where this Miss O time she came from. So Otto's all like, well, I'm just gonna go ask her. And like, no, you can't do that because she'll get suspicious and everything. Because Miss O is like a very trained like agent. That's why she's Mrs. O, you know. She's been around for over 200 years, and she's in the body of an 8-year-old girl. And so like, and she finds out something is up, she will do who knows what to them and stuff. And so, like I said before, Mrs. O, she loves to scream, shout, and growl at people. So they said they're gonna hide the present day Mrs. O in the ball pit. And she's mad. She's like, you better fix this, you better fix this now so I can get out this ball pit. So she goes down the ball pit. And she sees one of her agents that disappeared years ago, Agent Obi. And she's all like, I thought you left Oz Squad. He's like, no, I just been in the ball pit the whole time. Boy, she gives him that stare down. And it is evil. So Oscar, Otto, and Olive, they decide how they're gonna figure out what time she's from. And then so Otto has a clue. He's all like, she must be like burning up because she's in like winter boots and a winter jacket. So they're all like, okay, so she must be from like a time period when it's cold. So they get the map of all 12 months. And they eliminate summer and spring. So then they only have fall and winter left because it's a little chilly in the fall. And so like, then they say she's setting up a Christmas tree. And so they all like, okay, well, you don't set up a Christmas tree in the fall. So they eliminate all those months. And then they all like, when it comes to no, wait, they keep they eliminate every month except for December, because December is two different seasons. It's fall and it's winter. So they're all like, okay, now they're starting to eliminate weeks and days. Most people, they decorate their house at different times. So then they try to determine, okay, when do people necessarily decorate their tree? Sometime near Christmas, but not like on Christmas. So then he's all like, she's eating a sandwich. And they're all like, oh, she only eats on a Wednesday. So now they only have 3 days to pick from. And they don't know which one. So Olive realizes, oh, my birthday's on one of those days. So she has a clue. or she has a plan. So she runs up and she asks Miss O, can she take time off for her birthday? And then Miss O's all like, nice try. Your birthday was last week. And then so Olive now knows what day she's from. She's from the 17th. And so like, she calls the boys in and they come in with the device that sends her back through time. But they startle Mrs. O when they try to zap her. So she's like ducking out the way. She grabs like a metal tray and she's like deflecting the laser beams left and right. She is awesome, dude. Let me tell you. So like Olive's all like, this isn't gonna work. So she makes everybody stop. She's all like, look, we'll put down the device if you put down the tray. So she puts down the device near her foot. And Mrs. O, she's reluctant as she's staring them down, but she puts down like the tray. And then as soon as Miss O's are like, what's going on here? Olive hits the device, the button, and it sends Mrs. O back to the time period in which she's in, which is last year. Now they knew she was from last year because of her hairstyle. She always changes her hairstyle for like a certain time period. So now they're happy that, you know, they didn't do a time catastrophe. But then as they're celebrating, they see another Miss O walk in. Now this Miss O hairstyle is from the 80s, from an 80s episode they did, because she was back from the 80s. That's what people at first assumed she was from. So they found out she was from the 1800s. So then They all like, did you drop the device again, Oscar? And he's all like, yeah. And then next thing you know, a rumbling happens, and Olive's all like, hello, timesheet. And it ends. So yeah, I decided just to quickly run through that one. It didn't have much of a Christmas thing. It just has a slight one, but it's like, hey, it's still Christmas, so why not? You know what I'm saying? Bah humbug, that was a good episode. All right, everybody, I'll talk to you later. Bye.